home with him. And that's the scariest thing you can ever imagine. And I shot an innocent man. I was scared he was going to kill me.
Amber Geiger is a Dallas police officer who's been indicted for murder. Using her service revolver, she shot and killed Botham Jean, an unarmed man who lived in her building. Returning home from a patrol shift, Geiger says she thought she'd surprised an intruder. But there was a huge problem. Amber Geiger was in the wrong apartment.
The Dallas police officer, Amber Geiger, returned home after working her shift, and she apparently thought she was on the correct floor and going into the correct apartment.
There's a guardrail, and it looks over the balcony of the courtyard. That's where I know my door is.
And the door was cracked open. When she put her key in, the door moved.
And all of a sudden, I come home, and then there's somebody inside my apartment. My heart rate just shot up.
And she pulled her service weapon.
And I'm saying, let me see your hands, let me see your hands.
What were you focused on?
Him.
Just him?
Yes.
And then he began coming towards you?
Yes.
And shot this person. Botham Jean was in his own apartment. He had been eating a bowl of ice cream.
One of the most difficult things about these cases is that you learn so many good things about the people who you represent. You know, my only regret is that I never get to meet them. I haven't met anyone that had anything bad to say about Botham.
We knew from day one that Amber was going to have to testify. The only way to have the world understand her remorse was to have her testify.
Tell the jury where you went in your truck.
I went up to the 3rd floor to park my truck.
You now know you weren't on the 3rd floor,
Yes,
but you believe you were.
I believed I was.
The apartment she lived in, she parked on the wrong floor. We had to show that those floors are so indistinct. There's no clear markings. Anyone else could have made the same mistake because everything looked alike on every floor of her building.
What was your state of mind as you went down that first small hallway?
I was just ready to go home.
We had to put the jurors in her shoes. We had to get them to understand the feelings of a small female that's opening what she believes is the door of her apartment to see an intruder in there.
He started coming towards me. I couldn't see his hands.
How fast is this happening?
Real fast. It's seconds.
They tried to portray Botham as someone that came towards her. And in essence, she didn't have a choice but to shoot.
I was scared he was going to kill me.
But when you look at the trajectory of the shot, the only logical explanation is that when that door opened, Botham was getting up to see who it was, and she shot him.
Good morning, Ms. Geiger.
Good morning.
I asked you several questions today concerning the events of September the 6th, and in particular your testimony, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to start where you guys ended, and I'm going to move backwards.
I'll be honest, Amber Geiger made a great witness. She came off as being remorseful.
So one of the things that you obviously wanted to communicate to the jury is just about how bad you feel about what you did to Mr. Jean. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
The prosecution had to make sure that the jury could not let sympathy guide their decisions.
Ms. Geiger, were you trained to do CPR properly?
Yes, we were.
Okay. Did you properly perform CPR on Mr. Jean?
No, I did not.
That was the thing that was just the hardest for the family to hear. The fact that she did not even attempt to save this Botham's life or even prolong his life.
I want to talk to you now about the decision before you actually went in. The door to 1478. Because your training says, for your safety, you should have taken a position of cover and concealment and got help. And instead you decided to go in.
Yes, I did go in.
You know that the response time on this call was about 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
So you could have taken a position of cover and concealment. You could have called for help on your radio, and You could have had the cavalry there in 2 minutes.
I could have.
And had you done any one of those things, Mr. Jean would probably be alive today.
Yes, sir.
It was her intent at the moment she shot to kill him. Killing this man was unnecessary and it was unreasonable.
You find the state has failed to prove that she was unreasonable in her belief that Mr. John was in her apartment and that he was an intruder. You must find Amber Geiger not guilty.
The jury having reached a verdict, Ms. Geiger and your team, would you please stand? We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Geiger, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
When they announced that she was guilty, there was an audible exhaling you could hear from Botham Jean's family.
We, the jury, assess the defendant's punishment at 10 years imprisonment in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
All right.